Chair declares that the House is back in session from the short recess. We'll now call on the President of the American Osteopathic Association, Dr. Robert S. Uhas, to make an introduction. Dr. Uhas.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. It gives me great pleasure to introduce Peter B. Ajluni, D.O., our 2007 to 2008 President of the American Osteopathic Association, as this year's A.T. Still Memorial Lecture Speaker. As an orthopedic surgeon for more than 40 years, Dr. Ajluni has dedicated countless hours of his personal time to the osteopathic profession as a leader, a mentor, and an advocate since the start of his career. Dr. Ajluni joined the AOA Board of Trustees in 1998, and since then has served as chair of the AOA's Departments of Business Affairs, Educational Affairs, Professional Affairs, and Governmental Affairs. Aside from his involvement on a national level, Dr. Ajluni has also been an active member of state and local osteopathic medical organizations, including his service as president of both the Michigan Osteopathic Association and the Michigan Osteopathic Academy of Orthopedic Surgeons. As a member of this past year's OMED task force, Dr. Ajluni made an important contribution to the creation of an entirely new OMED that will launch this October as an innovative and integrative learning experience that we both would say it's an experience you won't want to miss. And Dr. Ajluni currently serves as a member of my President's Advisory Council, and I have been very thankful to have benefited from his wisdom during my time as president and throughout my time at the AOA. Dr. Ajluni's deep knowledge of our profession's history and his advocacy for the osteopathic philosophy, science, and practice made him a natural fit to give this year's address in celebration of our founder, Andrew Taylor Still. Please join me in giving a warm welcome to our 2015 A.T. Still Memorial Lecture Speaker, Peter B. Ajluni, D.O.
Love you. Good morning. Morning to all you leaders, guests, family, friends. It's an honor and a privilege to be delivering the A.T. Still Memorial Lecture this year. I'm pumped. And it's flattering to be associated with osteopathic medicine's founding father, as well as to follow the many distinguished speakers who have preceded me. My thanks to President Uhas, President-elect Becker, and the Board of Trustees for extending me this opportunity. Now let's get to it. Last year, on this very stage, Bill Strample, Dean at MSU COM, sitting over there, delivered this lecture as the delegates were deciding whether or not to support the single accreditation system. And for the days and hours leading up to the Dean's talk, you could feel the tension in the air a year ago, couldn't you? It was intense. Some delegates expressed significant angst about the potential dilution of our brand of osteopathic medicine as versus the opportunity to have a role on a larger graduate medical education stage on the other hand. Well, Dean Strample challenged us not to fear change, and I believe that his message contributed greatly to the overwhelming vote in favor of the accreditation system, single accreditation system. As leaders, we showed our courage to forge ahead into the unknown, not unlike the father of our profession, Andrew Taylor Still. Our courage, our leadership, and our commitment helped us to achieve the progress that we celebrate today. Now tell me, who would have predicted that 97% of our program directors with AOA certification would meet the ACGME certification requirements? And if you found someone who did predict that, let me meet him because I want to know what numbers he buys in the lottery. Now, sure, we've experienced some challenging moments, and there are more to come. But we've achieved phenomenal progress so far by working together, and now what we must do is lead the way forward. As I was preparing for the talk, this issue reminded me of a movie from the 70s called The Candidate with Robert Redford and Peter Boyle. Look how young Redford looked. Makes us all feel old. Anybody remember the movie? You sort of have to be my age group to remember it. But I'm not going to make you watch it, but I'll give you the gist. The gist of the movie is that Redford's character runs as an unknown for a hotly contested Senate seat in California. And he has virtually no hope of winning. So he decides to go all in, and he challenges the establishment, and to everyone's surprise, including Redford's, he wins. He wins. But my favorite part happens at the very last words of the movie. And I'm going to show you those now. Please run the clip.
Son, you're a politician.
No, we're ready. Here he comes!
Okay, we've got about 60 seconds of privacy before they find out we're here now, so what's on your mind, Senator?
I don't know.
Okay, we gotta get out of here. See, I told you they'd be here.
Marvin, what do we do now?
Wait a minute, what?
Those are the last lines of the movie. That's how it ends. And I suggest that we need to ask ourselves, what do we do now? God knows that we've experienced trials and tribulations and struggles over the years. Think about the California debacle. Think about when we had to fight for full practice rights in certain states, or when we were not fully recognized by the military. We have fought tooth and nail for our professional survival, and now, in 2015, we enjoy a stronger, more positive recognition than ever before from the medical community and the public at large. This growing recognition is exciting, but we have to acknowledge we still face challenges to the distinct nature of our profession. The question is, how will we respond to the opportunities afforded by this new visibility? Or, what do we do now? Will we declare victory and fade into the sunset? No. Or will we use our rising stature to become even more influential in the House of Medicine? At this time last year, many of us rightly stated that our profession was at a critical juncture, arguably the most important juncture in our entire history, and that really remains true today. It's true because of the responsibilities that come with being a leader in medical education and medical care. We must be aware that it may become too easy to assimilate ourselves into the allopathic culture. Now, more than ever before, I say to you, we must champion our distinctiveness. So again, what do we do now? Well, I propose that we must adopt the viewpoint of our visionary founder, A.T. Still would have, and use this opportunity as he would have. And I believe that Still would have built upon our growing recognition. I know, because I spoke to him. He would have welcomed the new networking relationships, and he would have used these opportunities to further the philosophy, practice, and science of osteopathic medicine. Let's imagine for just a second what it was like being Dr. Still practicing in the 1800s. It was a time very different than ours, but in some ironic way, it was very much the same. During Still's time, our nation was bitterly divided over issues relating to economics, civil rights, and social justice. His vision for equality led him to fight as an abolitionist in the Civil War. He championed a woman's right to an education, and he welcomed women into his early classes. Still faced many challenges similar to the ones that we experience today, and while he may have used different words, amazingly, he was tuned into the concepts like patient-centered care, preventative care, holistic care, wellness, concepts that at his time were ridiculed, and now, 140 years later, these concepts are some of the most salient medical issues of the day. His vision challenged the status quo, and here's the key point. He saw the unique alignment between the needs of the public and what osteopathic medicine offered. How simple and how beautiful. My colleagues and friends, we have an exceptional opportunity to carry on Dr. Still's legacy. You see, Dr. Still famously said, "Let your light shine so that the whole world will know you're an osteopathic physician, pure and simple, and that no prouder title can follow a human name." Dr. Still would not have been stumped by Redford's question, "What do we do now?" Dr. Still would have said, "It's time to let our light shine. Our time is now." He would be fully focused on moving forward with our own visionary role in the future of medicine. As a challenger of the status quo, Still would say, the DO letters after our name, the letters that we worked so hard to earn, affirm that we are the visionaries now. Being a visionary is not about protecting osteopathic medicine. It's about being advocates for our philosophy and our training. It's about improving the lives of our patients with empathy and, yes, with touch. It's about sharing this philosophy with the greater medical community. But we must be aware of what's happening in this world that we live in. Like it or not, the internet, social media have changed everything forever. We must adapt. We must tweet. We must Facebook. We must LinkedIn. We must blog, Instagram, emoji. I don't even know what an emoji is. And we must speak out on stages larger than this, and especially settings outside of the profession. As visionaries, we must continue to actively and robustly contribute to the discussions on medical education and health policy. We must innovate. We must adapt. We must learn. And we will grow. We must tell our osteopathic story in ways that align with patient-centered care. For we are the visionaries now. Healthcare trends are in our favor. Consumers are increasingly seeking out our philosophy of care. And we know that our profession is experiencing tremendous growth, and we have to maintain this momentum while we engage in communities to raise awareness of our profession. We, you and I, must be accountable for our own future. We must tell our osteopathic story in ways that align with wellness and touch, because we are the visionaries now. I recently came across a commencement address by Coach Holtz, Lou Holtz of Notre Dame, in which he shared some simple yet practical advice. Holtz said, "We all need 4 things to get through life: something to do, someone to love, something to believe in, and something to hope for." As osteopathic physicians, we are privileged to have something to do and a profession to believe in that makes such a difference in this world. We have the love, I hope, of our family, our friends, our colleagues, our faith, and yes, for the patients we serve. And as for hope, well, we're experiencing Dr. Still's hopeful legacy right now. 110,000 DOs and students strong. Make no mistake, if we're to be the visionaries, this will require every single one of us to step up and lead, just as we did by moving forward with the ACGME issue 1 year ago. And what a difference a year has made. I believe that being a visionary means seeking the horizon, where we want to be, and then creating a path to that vision, a path that may not even exist today. As a visionary, A.T. Still DO challenged the conventional wisdom about healthcare every step of the way. And we must too, because we are the visionaries now. So I pose this vision to you. This is just my vision. In the year 2025, only 10 years from now, 2 out of every 4 physicians and medical students are either DOs or training to be DOs. Imagine the benefits of osteopathic hands-on care to patients, making huge differences in pain management and chronic disease. Imagine consumers interested in health and wellness in a partnership with their physician are seeking out our approach to care. Imagine journalists seeking out our insights and our commentary on the day's most pressing medical issues. And my favorite, imagine the Surgeon General of the United States is an osteopathic physician. Now that's my vision. I'm sure you all have your own. But I'd like to think that Dr. Still may have been familiar with one of his contemporaries, the author Oscar Wilde. Wilde said, "A visionary is one who can find their way by the moonlight and see the dawn before the rest of the world." My fellow DOs, as visionaries, we have proven over and over again that the osteopathic medical profession can find its way by the moonlight. Now, more than ever before, as visionaries, we must see the dawn before the rest of the world. Thank you, my fellow DO visionaries. The world awaits us. God bless you, and God bless the osteopathic profession. Thank you.